The Saints added more talent to their defense on Saturday with day 3 of the NFL draft, getting Danny Stutsman from Oklahoma. We'll talk about the talented linebacker and what he'll bring to New Orleans right here on the Straight Up Saints podcast.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
What is up, Houdat Nation? Welcome inside another edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rosevogel, and as always, the Straight Up Saints podcast is brought to you by Scott Vicknair Injury Lawyers. You've been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore, Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. They'll always fight for the win. The Saints kicking off their day 3 of the NFL draft with another defensive pick. That's kind of been the trend has shifted, right? You made the pick for Kelvin Banks and then Tyler Shuck. And then the Saints have really started to beef up their defensive talent over the last couple of hours, let's say 24 hours for New Orleans. And the latest one is Danny Stutsman, who, when you watch him, you just see a real good instinctual player who had a ton of experience at Oklahoma, was a tackling machine for the Sooners. And the thing I'd say for Stutsman that really pops off, and you hope the Saints are able to get the best out of him, is that he is a great downhill linebacker. And I think for New Orleans, that's one thing. I mean, Demario Davis has done so many things, incredibly well over his career, especially with the Saints. But one thing that he is just superb at is his ability to attack the line of scrimmage, whether it's on the blitz, whether it's stopping the run. And look, if you bring in young linebackers like Stutsman and hope they can even gain a tenth of the knowledge that Demario Davis is able to shed, you would obviously be thrilled about it. But look, Stutsman is a high caliber player, good leader. And I think for the Saints, it's become very clear. They watched a lot of SEC football this past year. I mean, 2 picks from Texas so far, pick from Oklahoma. So the Red River rivalry is definitely going to make its way over to New Orleans in that locker room. I don't think that'll be necessarily a bad thing, but I think for New Orleans, this was a sneaky need. I know I want a running back. I'd love to see the Saints add a running back. I'd love to see them add some type of skill player, offensive weapon that, Kellen Moore can carve out a role in his offense for. And they still have time to do that. So it's not like that door is slammed shut. But at the same time, you look at New Orleans, a lot of their talent that they have is aging talent. I mentioned Demario Davis. Unfortunately, he's not going to be an elite linebacker his entire career. And we've kind of seen that, right? Demario's starting to finally decline, and he's looked ageless for his entire career, but you start to finally see that wear and tear. So you bring in Stutsman, you hope he can maybe develop. The Saints have taken a lot of chances on mid-round linebackers over the last couple of years, hoping it works. Pete Werner obviously has been solid. They took Caden Ellis on day 3. He was really good till he ends up leaving after his breakout season. So maybe Stutsman ends up developing. Obviously, for New Orleans, I think it's worth the shot here. I think the value in terms of positional value and where he fits on the board is perfect for this team right now. And you kind of saw there was a quick run on tailbacks at the beginning of the 4th round. So for New Orleans, you kind of pivot in a different direction. I'm fine with it. You got to get Brandon Staley some chess pieces. Maybe Stutsman ends up being that for New Orleans. But I think it's an exciting pick for the Saints. If you want to just kind of be enamored by physical football, just go watch any of Danny Stutsman's games, especially last season with Oklahoma, and I'm sure you would be pretty entertained by what he brings to the table. So let me know what you guys think about the pick in the comments section below. If you guys are a fan of Stutsman coming to New Orleans, if you're kind of indifferent about it. And obviously, the Saints still have more picks to make right now. They have another 4th rounder that they're going to make soon. Got a 6th round pick, got 2 7th rounders. All of this might be done by the time you end up watching this, but Stutsman ends up being the first day 3 pick of many for New Orleans. Hopefully they could go attack their offensive needs. And who knows, maybe get another defensive lineman in the building. But for now, it's Stutsman to the Saints. I like the pick. I think this is a player who has a high floor, not high ceiling, high floor. And I think the Saints can use more guys like that. So we'll see what they decide to do with their later picks. For now, they address linebacker. As always, guys, make sure to subscribe to Boo Crew Media's YouTube page and stay tuned for more from the Straight Up Saints podcast, the destination for the Houdat Nation.